Good evening, everyone. Today is the 14th of May, and here are some of the major headlines from the US markets. Equities are getting some of their momentum back at the end of a choppy week that saw a jump in inflation that rattled the markets. All three major averages snapped the 3 day losing streak by closing solidly in green on Thursday. And while they are still on a track of hefty weekly losses, the positive sentiment stuck around overnight. The Dow and S&P 500 futures rose by 0.5% and 0.7% respectively, while contracts linked to the tech-heavy Nasdaq, which has been hit especially hard, climbed 1.1%. Fed officials have been suggesting that the central bank has no intention to withdraw its support as the 10-year Treasury yield fell by another 3 basis points to 1.63%. On Thursday, new Fed board member Christopher Waller also helped calm inflation jitters by saying that the central bank would need several more months of data before assessing the economic progress. Retail sales will provide fresh insights on the pace of recovery, while industrial production figures will signal the extent to which supply chain bottlenecks have held back the output. The University of Michigan will also publish its Consumer Sentiment Index for May, shedding light on financial conditions and attitudes about the economy. Meanwhile, so-called reopening trades such as airlines and cruise companies ripped higher as the CDC eased mask guidelines. Anyone who is fully vaccinated can participate in indoor or outdoor activities, large or small, without wearing a mask or physical distancing. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said on Thursday, "If you are fully vaccinated, you can start doing the things that you had stopped doing because of the pandemic." We all have longed for this moment when we can get back to some sense of normalcy. The shift in guidance indicates a broader return to everyday life and is a bet that any new outbreaks from relaxed guidelines won't be enough to reverse progress from inoculations. Traders reacted to the news by selling off shares in notable mask makers. Allied Healthcare Products and Alpha Protec closed the session down nearly 11% and 6% respectively. On the other side of the trade, shares of Ulta Beauty finished the day up 3% after D.A. Davidson analyst Michael Baker said that the beauty retailer was likely to be a beneficiary of the mask lifting restrictions. The CDC's guidelines are recommendations and don't have the force of law. Decisions on when and where the mask must be worn rests with the state, local governments, and businesses, which can decide whether to maintain or relax their existing mask mandates, as well as incentives or deterrents to enforce compliance. The pandemic dealt a heavy blow to Disney's theme parks, but it was a boon for the company's streaming service. However, investors went as impressed this past quarter as Disney Plus signed up another 9 million users, taking its total number to 103.6 million paid subscribers versus expectations of 109 million. Average monthly revenue per subscriber also fell 29% to $3.99, a move that the company blamed on the launch of Disney Plus Hotstar, and DIS shares slid 4.2% in extent trading. While Netflix has doubled the number of subscribers than rival Disney, the latter's figure look a whole lot better when adding in its other streaming services. ESPN Plus had 13.8 million subscribers, up 75% year over year, and Hulu had 41.6 million subscribers, up 30%. Netflix has also reported a sharp slowdown in sign-ups, putting the godfather of streaming on the defensive, but CEO Reed Hastings has attributed the downturn to pandemic distortions and feel it will grow again as more shows come back to the second half in 2021. Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, and US Bancorp are among a group of banks that will start providing customer deposit account information as a part of government-supported initiative to give more people access to credit cards, Wall Street Journal reports. The idea is to use alternative data such as bank account information to determine the credit risk for those people who don't have a traditional credit score. The pilot program is expected to start later this year, and about 10 banks have agreed to exchange the data. In the recent years, some big US lenders have developed risk models based on their own customers' bank account activity to approve financing for applications with limited or no credit rating history. The move resulted in credit card approvals for about 700,000 additional customers at JP Morgan alone over the past 5 years. In 2018, FICO also announced a scoring system that factored in how many customers managed their bank accounts, but few lenders signed up for the program. The average FICO score in US rose to 711 in 2020, marking an 8 points increase from 2019 and the most significant spike since 2016. However, some 53 million adults in the US still don't have traditional credit scores, according to Fair Isaac, the creator of FICO credit scores. More often than not, they are limited to payday loans and other costly forms of credit. Few other important headlines. Colonial Pipeline paid $5 million ransom to DarkSide hackers amid fuel crunch. McDonald's boosts pay at company-owned stores. Amazon hiring 75,000 fulfillment and logistics workers in North America. Pinterest to test live streams with creator event this month. To be clear, I strongly believe in crypto, said Elon Musk. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance reportedly under DOJ investigation. ARK ETFs sit out the market rally. AMC Entertainment soars after completing 43 million share equity offering. Corn future plunge in long overdue correction in overbought market. Some of the Thursday's key earnings. Airbnb down by 1.8% after hour, posting a disappointing Q1 bottom line. Alibaba down by 6.3% on mixed Q1 results with a profit miss. Coinbase up by 0.5% after hours, tripling revenues from last quarter. Disney down by 4.1% on slowing Disney Plus subscriber growth. DoorDash up by 7% after hour on big sales beat, strong guidance. Xpeng down by 4.9%, predicting another quarter of chip shortages. Some of the world's market update. In Asia, Japan up by 2.3%, Hong Kong by 1.1%, China by 1.8% and India by 0.1%. In Europe at midday, London up by 0.6%, Paris by 0.7% and Frankfurt by 0.6%. In the futures market, Dow up by 0.5%, S&P by 0.7% and Nasdaq by 1.1%. Crude up by 1.1% to $64.49. Gold up by 0.5% at $1,833.80. Bitcoin up by 2.8% to $50,577 and 10-year treasury yield down by 3 basis points to 1.63%. Today's economic calendar includes at 8:30 a.m. retail sales, at 8:30 again import-export prices, at 9:15 industrial production, at 10 business inventories, at 10 again consumer sentiment, at 1 p.m. Baker Hughes rig count, and at 1 p.m. again Fed's Kaplan speech. That's all for today's updates. Sign up for a zero-free account on Compound to start globally investing today. It can help you diversify, hedge and create a truly global portfolio that can give you better returns as the winner keeps rotating. Compound has an easy onboarding process, no account minimums, and investors get to invest in fractional stocks. Investors get the choice to invest in more than 3,500 US stocks, worldwide ETFs, and global companies. Join the official Telegram channel of Compound to get daily US and global market updates. All the links in the description below. Thank you.